That's good. Good. You guys, good. You're responsive. I like that because we have 3 more great sessions coming up for you. I want to kick off with the next one. Get ready for Darren Lui. He is the president and executive director of, get this, a Hong Kong-based, NASDAQ-listed biopharmaceutical company. And even all that, you're like, right, got it. But his background is in finance, from London to New York to Hong Kong. He's done it all. And you're like, wait a second, what does that have to do with blockchain? Well, it's about health sciences and about how blockchain is being used to transform the health sciences world. So ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the president of the Aptorum Group. Here he comes, Darren Lui. Hey.
Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, appreciate it.
You betcha. Go get him.
Sure. So, hi everyone. So, my name is Darren. I'm the co-founder of 2 companies. One is Aptorum Group and the other one's Aenco. As Andrew actually already nicely presented, so Aptorum, we're a NASDAQ-listed company. We're a Hong Kong-based biopharmaceutical company. We develop a lot of drugs in partnership with major universities such as University of Hong Kong and the Chinese University of Hong Kong, the 2 major medical schools based here. I'm going to talk a little bit about Aptorum, what we do. So our mission is to develop drugs for unmet needs, first in class, and very often for certain diseases which we call orphan diseases. So diseases that are very hard to treat, and there are very little drugs available in the market. It's a 3-year-old company. We have a great pipeline. We have over 11 products in our pipeline right now, ranging from various things from therapeutic areas to what we call non-therapeutic areas. Within our group, we have a medical clinic as well over in the Hong Kong side. And we actually do a lot of drug development in the last number of years based on the excellent basic research based in Hong Kong and also outside of Hong Kong as well. Very quick pipeline. We have over 11 projects at the moment. We focus on areas where Hong Kong is extremely strong at. One of them is infectious disease for those who were lived here during the SARS period in 2003. As you know, Hong Kong was hit very hard by the SARS virus. We are actually extremely good at creating infectious disease because we're based in Southeast Asia and we just eat anything with legs. So that's why we're very good at creating infectious disease. And through the 2003 SARS period, Hong Kong and the government actually spent a lot of money in actually researching how to deal with infectious disease, as well as a number of areas related to that. So SARS being one of them. After about 15 years of research, a number of very interesting drugs actually came out from Hong Kong, came from the University of Hong Kong lab. Professor Yuen Kwok Yung, the gentleman who actually found the SARS virus. And one of them, of the top sort of a lead candidate in our portfolio right now is a drug that deals with MRSA, which is what most people refer to as a superbug. So it's actually got a 30 to 50% mortality rate when you actually get it in the hospital as well. Other areas we've developed on is actually influenza virus. Outside of our infectious disease space, we actually focus on neurodegenerative disease. Hong Kong has one of the most aged population in the world right now. We actually overtook Japan last year, probably due to the great medical system as well over here in Hong Kong. So it's also a huge area of investments that's pouring in to Hong Kong as well. Why are we talking about sort of biotech and how it actually relates to blockchain development? Well, in the last number of years, as we were developing our own drug development platform, what we realized is actually we went through a lot of financial processes. We went through capital raising, talked to Series A investors, Series B, IPO, and during the process, we also do a lot of pharmaceutical development process. And as actually blockchain were evolving in parallel to that process, what we realized is there's a lot of opportunities to use blockchain-based applications or blockchain-based approach to actually further evolve some of the pharmaceutical development process, as well as the financial aspects of growing a company. So on the back of that experience, myself and our major co-founder, Mr. Ian Huynh, actually created Aenco as a sister company, focused on developing blockchain and blockchain-based applications for us and also for other counterparties, focused on 2 subsectors. One is the financial aspects of it, and the other one is the pharmaceutical development side of things. So in a nutshell, what we are. So we are actually developing our own blockchain. So we're actually a blockchain company. We develop customized blockchain applications. We also provide end-to-end financial solutions for companies who look to raise capital in a social media and alternative means from the traditional investment banking world. And obviously, on the back of it, we need to be heavily regulated. So at the moment, we are currently regulated in Hong Kong. We are regulated in the US. We are about to be regulated in Europe to be able to deliver this platform of services. Again, for those who are more tech savvy and interested in our blockchain, happy to discuss a bit more. We're developing our blockchain right now. I think one of the key things about blockchain is that it needs to be customizable. As you know, with pharmaceutical development and healthcare, actually a lot of it requires very specialized knowledge, very specialized areas that the blockchain has to deal with. So we've moved away from very traditional blockchain models like Ethereum and Bitcoin and all those, and actually go about developing our own blockchain that caters for customizability, so it works for in accordance with our financial requirements, our counterparties' requirements, as well as actually focused on a subsector, which is actually healthcare side of things as well. In a nutshell, so we have actually already had the blockchain privately tested at the moment. It's up to 400,000 blocks right now. We're opening for community testing in the second quarter of this year. Again, focusing on two main areas. One is on the financial application side of it, because as we know, a lot of companies, even healthcare companies, are now coming out with great sort of financial engineered products, security tokens coming out of it. We have a number of very interesting projects that we will announce in the next quarter that we work with a number of companies right now. The security token side is actually a very interesting area where there's a lot of growth. It's very much asset-backed, and it's still in an evolving stage. So we're actually positioning ourselves to actually try to capture this market and actually bring a lot of new financial instruments coming out from this area, either for healthcare companies or for financial companies to be presented to our investors, our community, and to be put on our platform. On the healthcare side, again, because we are pharmaceutical development background, so we're very much focused on research, how actually people share research. With a great ecosystem of research, that's where great products come out of it. So what we found actually in the real world is academics are actually very hesitant in actually sharing research. There's actually huge inefficiencies in how research is being shared between different groups of academic institutions or even within the groups. And really, actually, one of the success of some of the products that we are developing right now came about because there's a number of groups of people actually came together, shared the research, shared the views, and got about developing the drug. So part of what we're trying to solve here is actually to promote further research sharing, promote further data being shared. One project we're working on right now is a AI-based medical imaging project, and very much the accuracy of the AI is dependent on how much data points you have. So that in itself is actually quite a bit of challenge, because we know a lot of groups came to us and said, look, is there a way we can actually facilitate data collection and actually get more data to collect and therefore improve our AI-based robots. So we're creating a platform right now. We'll make further announcements in the next couple of months on how actually our platform can support further medical research, not just in Hong Kong, but across the world in sharing in particular areas like medical imaging, as well as disease infections and so forth. We're also working with a number of hospitals and clinics right now. We have our own clinic ourselves, so we're actually doing a lot of work as well as benefiting our own clinic in terms of blockchain-based hospital information management system. So as you can appreciate, hospital systems are actually extremely complicated. It goes from when the patients come in to the hospital, checking in, getting their disease diagnosed, getting their drugs prescribed, all the way to insurance processing. So a lot of the hospitals here in Hong Kong and around Southeast Asia are still catching up in this area. It's a big area of research, and actually a lot of the blockchain-based applications can actually improve the efficiency of this entire hospital management system. So a lot of people are actually working on it. Hospitals themselves are very concerned about securities. So as you know, patient records are actually extremely confidential at the moment, and many of these hospitals are now very open-minded to actually using a blockchain to improve security, to improve the audit trail, and how we can actually move away from a very traditional cloud-based model. So we actually is an area of huge growth and opportunity as well. Just a very little screenshot for those who are interested in learning about our company a bit more. Please come to our website. It's aencoin.io, aencoin.io. Our great team of IT guys are actually in the booth today. We're actually developing our own smart wallet. It's actually a single entry application for almost all our services from our exchange, which is ANX. Again, it's something we're looking to launch in the second quarter of this year. It's regulated in Europe, and actually provides a lot of trading capabilities for all types of token and token-based securities. A little bit about the blockchain technology in healthcare. So, and all of this is actually public information right now. For those who actually spend a bit of time on Google, Cigna and Centaura Healthcare, they actually joined an IBM Blockchain Health Utility Network as well, looking at the payment processing, right? How actually blockchain can drive payment processing. Pfizer joins a MediLedger consortium, looking at actually how to protect themselves from counterfeit products. How actually can track genuine drugs being prescribed on the exchange. Very interesting company. Bollinger actually tested IBM blockchain actually to improve clinical trials. We're particularly interested in this because as a pharmaceutical development company, we're actually doing a lot of clinical trials in Hong Kong as well as over in North America as well, and how actually this clinical trial process could be improved using blockchain-based applications. Actually could cost reduction and also improve the integrity of the data of the research as well. And certain countries outside of Hong Kong are actually extremely interested, or certainly the Food Development Agency, FDA, actually wants to use certain blockchain-based applications to improve transparency on data. Whether it's good data or bad data, they want transparency. So blockchain actually solves a lot of those concerns for them. For those, VChain, another great blockchain company as well, has actually partnered with the Shanghai government right now, looking at a traceable solution for drugs and vaccines. As you know, a lot of drugs right now in China itself actually does need a little transparency in terms of counterfeit products, in terms of whether there's actually genuinely tracked or imported from certain countries. And I think VChain is actually doing great work in that area to actually provide that kind of solution as well. So very interesting landscape. A lot of blockchain companies are now working very closely with governments and with actually pharmaceutical companies to actually improve a lot of the drug development process and drug tracking. Major issues with our healthcare right now, security breaches, again, access to research, very hard to actually get people to share research. We believe this process will improve, and blockchain actually will actually help that process to improve the ability to resolve research data sharing. Unauthorized editing, as well, most people who are blockchain experts, is actually very, very hard to correct data that's already recorded on blockchain, and which is great because it improves audit trail, improves the integrity of the data and tracking as well. So it's certain areas where healthcare and blockchain actually goes hand in hand. As we were developing a lot of the products, a lot of products of the hospital right now, what we found is that actually in real life, in the hospitals, people do medical images, they do their MRI tests, they do blood test results. What we found is actually a lot of these data actually is extremely large in size. So, other than any text-based data, what we found is actually extremely hard or extremely challenging and possibly expensive to put medical images who are probably a couple of gigabytes each onto a blockchain in a very efficient manner. It's very doable, but it's also actually very costly to put big imaging data onto the blockchain itself. On certain areas, like even tracking a patient process in the hospital itself, again, that process could be replaced by blockchain, it's all very much legal contract and administrative based. But when you actually come onto medical images, for example, MRI, PET, and so forth, it's extremely hard, we found, to actually put it on blockchain at this moment in an efficient manner. So we've been working with hospitals, and actually we're very practical in that aspect. At some point, the blockchain technology may improve to be able to contain huge amount of data and be able to deliver this data in an efficient manner. But at the moment, what we've developed at the moment with certain hospitals right now is actually a hybrid system where we actually combine a cloud-based system together with our blockchain to develop that solution. So we're actually not completely affixed to using blockchain for everything. We got to look at the situation of the company itself. Is it practical to actually use blockchain to solve everything? And clearly the answer is no. So I believe that we're at the kind of right time where we're open to ideas right now. We actually also use the best bits of what we have currently in the technology. Where things should sit on the cloud, they should sit on the cloud. Where things can be improved on the blockchain, we use the blockchain to resolve that. So certain areas, again, our IT team is in here today. Anyone who is interested to learn more will be by our booths as well. Again, supported by a great team of people. Most of my staff is here today, and we actually, to the extent if you're more interested in the pharmaceutical side of things, please come and talk to us. We're actually also supported by a lot of clinicians as well. So we believe that actually to deliver a very effective blockchain solution for healthcare, you need to have a very strong team of clinicians, doctors, surgeons, researchers to provide you with the ecosystem and the data points you need to develop the solution. So we've got a great team over in very closely to Chinese University of Hong Kong, University and a number of universities in this part of the world who are actually from various backgrounds, from neurosurgeons to ENT surgeons to neuroscience researchers as well, in supporting our endeavors in delivering what we wanted to achieve in the next number of years. Okay, so I'm about to finish off, so thank you very much for your time. For those who want to track us, please come to our website or just scan one of these QR codes and sign up. We've got a lot of very exciting announcements in the next couple of months, so I'm sure if you can actually sign up, you'll be the first to find out what we're doing in the next couple of years as well. So thank you very much for your time today. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Darren. Fantastic. I saw a lot of cameras coming up to catch that QR code, so
sure.
a lot of people are going to be very interested. Thank you very much.